Hello, it's Mike, NoStressMike.com. Uh, let's see. It's today is Sunday, the 18th, I think, of September. But anyway, I wanted to let you know I went to a meeting on a militia, and I wanted to find out if there was something I can do to help. Uh, Personally, I'm not interested in joining a militia. And the reason is they don't do like I think they ought to do. So that's why I thought I would do better on if they wanted to learn something, I could see if there's something I could teach them. And I talked to them a little bit on the phone. I'm not good on electronic stuff. And but I didn't really want to tell them what I do because it takes a little more time. So I went to this meeting, and it ended up there was three of us. There was two handling the meeting, two militia members, and three of us new people that wanted to find more information. And it was a meet and greet kind of thing. And it was interesting. And that's exactly why I'm not interested in a militia. Is they were more interested in playing soldier, and they were talking about it, and I understand what their thoughts are. The problem that I see is if you've never been in the military, militia isn't a good example. They try to get civilians to act like militia people, and you can't do that. It's not going to work like that. And the way they were talking and stuff like that, they haven't had any luck making it happen anyway. And they talk good, and they, after a tornado, they went and helped, stuff like that. So they do good work when they can get something done. But the reality of hard times, they're not going to be able to make it work like that. And that's what they're saying. It's they're trying to teach people standing in formation, right turn, left turn, attention, antes, this kind of stuff. And that's basic. That's the first thing you learn when you don't know nothing. And so that's one of the things they do that I don't understand how that applies to what they do, other than they said it makes them look more professional when they have to go someplace. But and then afterwards, after the meeting, then I introduced myself. And it's funny that one of them, I sent him my email address or my website, and I told him, check me out so he knows who's going to be there and my experience level. And he didn't do it, and so I had to start from scratch and try and explain what I do, and they were flabbergasted. And and everything that they try to train to do is the stuff that I do, and and so it was kind of shocking to them how I'm able to do it so simple, how I've simplified it, and how to make it work. But I'm only using two other people, so there's three of us, so in groups of three. And that's what they couldn't understand when I talked to them on the phone. I'd do things at three-man militia. And, we didn't talk a lot, but, they do four. And, but still, they do military actions, how to clear a room and this type of stuff. But when I asked them about feed, how do you feed everybody? How do you house everybody? This was kind of, I'm a little bit more ahead of the game on that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I introduced myself and explained what I did, and then I don't know if it's something that they can use or not. But anyway, they've got more information on what I do, and I told them I got 3,000-4,000 videos up, and I talked about morals and the Constitution and okay, how do I make people do things? I don't. I have to figure out if they are morally to the level to do certain things. And that's how the kind of work that they'll be doing is what moral level they are. And then the Constitution, the Constitution doesn't describe me. It describes what the government does. So I mean, it gives rules for the government, not rules for me. I mean, it explains to the government the God-given rules that I have, and but it doesn't say in the Constitution that we the people can do this and we can do that. That's not it. It's to control the people in government and the government, the powers that the government has. And if they want to ignore the government, the Constitution, then they're on their own. But as long as I believe in the Constitution, that stops me from reacting to the misdeeds that they do. Now, once they feel like they got to get rid of the Constitution to control me, that's going to be another story. That's where the morals comes in. And so I didn't have time to go through all that, explaining how the morals give you strength and stuff like that, and how it can make you do things that you really aren't capable of doing, helping you do the impossible, because people don't think about it. And but anyway, that's why I push morals and the Constitution. And hopefully they can figure out something, and maybe I can help them out. And it's funny because, they're saying, well, what are you three going to do? And I said, three-man gardening militia. Now they're shocked. Gardening. Well, I said, yeah, you need food. I mean, when there's food shortages, when we have food problems, and you don't know how to garden, who are you going to talk to find out more about gardening? Who are you going to work with? This is it. Stuff like this is what makes a militia. It's not the fighting stuff. That doesn't it. And housing. I mean, there's all kinds of things that the militia can do. You don't have to play soldier to play militia. And if all you have is soldiers, it's not going to last long. A soldier, they need food. And if you run out of food, you lost your army. Your army's no longer existing. So either you give it to them or you steal it from the people around that you're governing. I guess the government does. It's the way it is. That's why it's in the Constitution. It's talking about when they can take our food and when they can't. But anyway, just wanted to bring that up. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.